How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
All right. So we have to put this slide up here so that you can't hold anything against us in the court of law. No, not even a chuckle? All right, so, it's interesting to read the statistics, and I know that there have been many presentations that have been done where the numbers are out there and people like me throw these things up on the screen. But some of these numbers in this report, and by the way, this was done by Meritalk and ACT-IAC, and I like both of those organizations. I think we like Meritalk better today, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we really like Meritalk. No, but honestly, ACT-IAC is also an industry partner that we all rely on in this business, whether you're on this side of the agency wall or on that side. And so when I started to look at the report and look for some data for this presentation, some of these things really stood out for me. 76% of the people that were surveyed, and these are IT professionals, finance professionals, all in federal government. They expect that their modernization budgets will increase, right? That's okay. I think that's probably a pretty safe statement. But then it goes on to talk about the fact that the number one need is to make their people better at what they're doing, right? Or to teach them about what is going to be coming out next. 16% of those IT pros felt that their agency is prepared. Only 16% that their agency is prepared to go to that next step. And 83% agree that their agency's future mission success depends on IT modernization. So it's like these statistics that are literally all over the map. Success is based on the people in my organization knowing what they're doing and being able to go into the new modernized world that we live in. And not many people are prepared to do that. So keep that in mind as we're kind of going through here. We're talking about future-proofing your IT investments. And we'll talk about how you can build on the legacy that you've already invested in, both people, software, process, hardware, and how you leverage that into the future and what we're doing to help. So why are we partnered with GDIT? Ben mentioned the fact that we have a partnership on the MilCloud 2.0 side. We've also had a partnership with GDIT on the civilian side. In fact, Peter's going to be talking about one of the successes that we've had at CMS, where they migrated an application, a very significant application, onto an Exadata platform. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Peter will share some details. But the reason that we're here and we're such a good partner, I think, for anyone in the room is that we have really spent a lot of time and a lot of money on developing new technologies, right? And being able to leverage the existing investments that you've all made in the technology. So if you think about, if you were in the MilCloud 2.0, I used a number, 42 years, right? We've been 42 years in this business. We've spent a lot of money in development. We have started enterprise database management systems. You think about, some of you in the room I know the old Ingress database from yesteryear. Codicil databases with things like IDMS and hierarchical databases with Datacom and so on and so forth. But Oracle was really a pioneer in enterprise level database. So that as a backdrop and that as an investment that we've made, and mirroring on top of that the investment that our agency customers have made for a very long time, we're now able to spend a lot of this money in development on the newer technologies and leveraging that existing investment that you've made over the years. So we got together with GDIT, certainly on the CMS project. We got together with GDIT on the MilCloud 2 project. and we said, whatever we do, let's make sure that we're enhancing the customer's experience, right? That we're delighting the customer, that we're making it better for them. So in the MilCloud 2.0 example, we're taking customers from an on-prem environment into a cloud, right? And we want to make sure that that experience is better. So if you're a customer and you've been doing a certain way for a certain number of years, and now you're moving to another platform, you're trying to move into the modernized environment with cloud as the foundation, and bring in some of those newer innovative technologies, think about how you take the investment that you've made. The investment, by the way, not only in technology and in support for products like Oracle's, and in integration services like those that you rely on from GDIT, but think about the people that you have and the investments that you've made in them, and taking that legacy, if you will, investment and modernizing that as we go forward. So those skill sets can be used, they can be reused, and then they can be enhanced with newer technologies. So again, delighting the customer was number one for us. So Oracle supports millions of citizens and millions of warfighters out there with some of the most mission-critical applications in government. So we have, again, this legacy of running or helping to run missions for our customers, very important missions. And if you were in the keynote this morning, Dawn Myrick talked about the fact that we want to move at the speed of mission, right? And we want to move at the speed of business. And there was a statistic or a chart that was put up. It talked about what the commercial industry is doing and making sure that the federal agency customers that were in the room were paying attention to that, right? We don't want to lose the fact that those investments are being made in commercial. How do we, in government, and how do we, as government stewards, if you will, move things to the next level, and how do we leverage those investments and those things that have been done in the commercial space as well as on the federal side. So one of the examples, you can think about when you're moving to cloud, right? And I'll just say cloud generally. So if you're moving to cloud, if you're an agency customer and you've done things on-prem, you're thinking about things like, okay, so I need to either enhance or refresh my technology, I need to upgrade my technology, I need to upgrade my skill set, I need to invest in sysadmins, I need to do all of that and do it in a brick and mortar establishment, right? So there are lots of costs involved in that, there are lots of things that you need to think about, and it's a heavy lift. So one of the things that that a lot of you are doing is you're moving to the cloud in a smart way, right? You're moving things that make sense. You're moving them when it makes sense for your organization. So one of the things that Oracle brings to the MilCloud 2 environment is basically taking those same investments with the same technology stack and moving it to another platform, right? So you're moving, you're migrating the application. You're not rewriting the application. You're not rewriting anything in the database. You're leveraging those existing investments. And what we're doing is we're extending the value that GDIT brings to DoD in that space, so that if you think about extending that as a database as a service, and you're looking at how do I leverage the investment that I've made, I've already invested in that database, that will resonate for you in MilCloud 2. So I mentioned for CMS, I mentioned the Exadata box. So this is the Exadata platform, if you don't know it, is an engineered system. We acquired Sun in 2010, so almost 10 years of development after Sun got done with it. We've been enhancing that in a remarkable way. And we actually just released on the X8 box back in the first week of this month, the newest platform, the Exadata X8. It's on the Spring Lake chip. So if you heard the Intel folks talk about that, that's the latest technology chip that Intel has. So with the extension of MilCloud 2.0, you've got the latest and greatest database from Oracle. You've got it delivered by GDIT as a service. It's on the latest technology box from us that was just released literally 3 weeks ago with the newest chip from Intel. So you're not going to get any more modernized than that. What that provides our customers is a better experience, a performance-enhanced experience, and the last line talks about BYOL. So if you're a customer and you have a license from Oracle, and you have, I'll say, the right quantity of licenses in your environment, or you're moving that environment from on-prem into the cloud in its entirety or even partially, we accept the BYOL. So you can bring those licenses over into the cloud. If you have any questions about that, please see someone with an Oracle badge or stop by our booth. They can talk to you about how you take your existing licenses and start to migrate those over into the MilCloud 2.0 environment. So Oracle provides you a path. Taking the investments that we've made for a very, very long time, more than 4 decades, and leverage that investment. Take the money that Oracle is spending on development, a significant amount of money on development, and take those newer technologies into the cloud. So the cloud provides the foundation, and then if you look at the things we're doing with autonomous technologies, machine learning, IoT, all the buzzwords, right? So we're right now at I think a very grassroots level in government, and I think what we need to do is we need to look over the fence, if you will, to what commercial is doing with our innovative technologies like autonomous and like machine learning, and then employ that as quickly as you possibly can in a smart way where it makes sense in this business. But again, Oracle's providing that path to you into the cloud. All right, let me turn it over to Peter. Peter?
Thank you.
Take it away.
This presentation was created for a lot of executives, CIOs, project managers, people that are planning their technology roadmap. And one of the things that I got asked a lot of questions about is, where is the industry going? In order to plan, you got to kind of see where the technology cloud providers are going from, what are they developing, where the investment is going, so that you can have an alignment to that strategy. It's not always the easiest thing in the world to do. And since cloud has been out there, Cloud 1.0 has kind of been out there for a while. I'm sure most of you have heard some great stories, but also some bad stories about how the cloud hasn't quite lived up to its potential. So I'm going to pick up on a theme today, which is MilCloud 2.0, and specifically 2.0. Today, that's where the cloud is. We're in 2.0. Amazon, Oracle, Azure, IBM, SAP, MilCloud, we're all in this now 2.0 world. What does that mean? Well, we've now learned a lot of lessons from Cloud 1.0, so we've redone the architecture. So a lot of our cloud providers are re-architecting the cloud in the way it was architected to be better, to meet those goals that it originally, from a marketing standpoint, said it would achieve. So you're seeing next-gen architecture, and Oracle is certainly one of those. If you haven't spent a little time with any of our SEs or engineers, we'd be happy to tell you about how our cloud has evolved, and we've actually implemented a next-gen cloud architecture. The second part is there are new cloud services that would be kind of considered next-gen, or cloud, the second generation. So Azure is now releasing Azure SQL, which is kind of like an evolution to SQL Server. You're starting to see Amazon. Amazon's RDS is now in its 4th year. I'm pointing out our competitors because the whole industry is kind of now moving to Cloud 2.0. But that has a significant impact to you. Most of your applications still are on-prem. And getting to the cloud is fraught with security challenges. We have regulations. There might be replatforming, the cost and budget. So there are serious constraints to moving into the cloud. But I needed to point out to you that really Cloud 2.0 is a tipping point in this cloud paradigm. There is going to be significant impact to your cloud technology roadmaps because of the things I'm going to mention here. So, specifically, all development now is shifted from on-prem to the cloud. What does that mean? Nobody has come out publicly and said that all development now is happening in the cloud. That's a significant shift. It's subtle, but it's significant. What does that mean? Well, our technology providers out there, all of the ones you partner with, we now have the ability to create AI supercharged services. You own the development platform, you own the cloud, you own the architecture, you can now put together services, you can build new capabilities, new products that you couldn't do before on-prem. So first, you probably have realized that services, our products, are offered on-prem, and a lot of them are developed in the cloud and then released to on-prem. The new paradigm is going to be soon cloud only. And how does an install base that is mainly on-prem deal with that kind of challenge? The good news is I'm here to help. Not all jokes are funny, and not all pitches are strikes. But so I'll talk to you about autonomous, our autonomous goal. And I know Elon Musk was talking today about 1 million Teslas. I'm not going to be quite that out there, but I certainly will tell you about our autonomous lineup and what we are doing. And you can see parallels in other agencies. Other cloud providers are doing similar things. So I really want to bring up, I hate to bring up Microsoft, I hate to bring up Amazon, but it's great for you to see this is where the industry is going. The final frontier is low code. So right now, I have all of these books that help me with Node.js, or I need to learn a new platform language like Go or Spring. That's really hard to do, right? Keeping up with the technology, the amount of training that I go through just to keep up with the new releases, new languages, new technologies is incredibly difficult. Low-code application development will solve that problem. But low-code, in order for low-code development to work, we have to then put a platform underneath it. In order for low-code to work, you don't even know what services are underneath to support that low-code development. You don't even know or care what database is running. You don't even care what middle tier is running. All you need to do is I need to drag and drop and build my applications. It's going to radically transform the federal government. It's going to bridge that skills gap. And it's going to make everybody in this room today a developer, which is exciting. So AI, great. It's a lovely buzzword, but my job today is to put it into real terms. So where are we with AI? AI is focusing on 2 things, basically. Automation. So if you think about it, people will use AI very liberally and try to say that we've infused AI. It's really just automating some processes. So I can automate the provisioning, make it easy for people to provision in the cloud. I could do some things from, provisioning is a great example. I can automate the scale up and scale down of workloads. I can automate some of the tasks that I typically do. But when we try to get into AI, we need to move up that food chain to now be more, I'm going to make some decisions for you. And that's an exciting place to be. So our services, like Autonomous, are introducing what we call performance management, intelligent. They're going to make judgments for you. They'll create indexes for you. They'll create summary. They'll make corrective actions to give you the better performance that you need. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're not even there yet where we're talking about the driverless car without the steering wheel. Automation is one part, performance management tuning is the other, and we have some more examples. So if I get into the specifics, one of the things about our autonomous thing is it's built on two pieces. It takes the software and it's firmly integrated with our hardware, the Exadata platform. So that is what I would consider a super service. Cloud 2.0 allows a super service like the autonomous to be able to be created. It's combining basically a database and your hardware to offer a better, more compelling service than you could get on-prem. We can then tune it with AI so it does more of the services. It does the self-tuning, self-patching, does the self-securing, does all of the backups. It makes a lot of things more automated, but also then is extending that food chain into the more intelligent kind of management of systems. The autonomous line is basically trying to do what Cloud 1.0 was trying to do. We really just want to make things easy. We want to make them fast. And we want to make it elastic. If we can do those three things, then I think Cloud 2.0 will be a great success from an ROI standpoint. I think a lot of customers who have been wary of Cloud 1.0 will find out that Cloud 2.0 will finally deliver on the ROI. Elastic being that you pay for only what you use. That's novel, that's great. You have no downtime, it's fast, it's performant, it tunes itself, it patches itself, it's easy. You don't need to spend 2 weeks trying to provision hardware, get them all hooked up. You just load data and go. So that's the goal for our autonomous database. Just to give you an idea, automatic and autonomous are not the same thing. So I wanted to include in there some definitions of what do we mean by autonomous. And autonomous is a goal of Oracle's. We really do want to not have to have a steering wheel in the car. We really are trying to help customers not have to deal with so much manual manipulation. And examples of that, and I wanted to give concrete examples. Instead of managing where your blocks are on your EMC storage or whatever you're running your storage, instead of managing the placement so you can disperse I/O, which is fancy talk for me saying that you can make the system perform, let Oracle do that for you. We'll manage the placement of the data files so that they're optimized and give you the best performance. That's at the atomic level. And you can go on all up there from there. You can eliminate all the patching, all the securing, all of the other features. So when I say autonomous, that means automatic provisioning, scaling, tuning, security, fault tolerance, backup and recover, and much, much more. And there's my Elon Musk. We also now are specialized. So Cloud 2.0, you'll see as a theme, is now we're offering not just a database service, but a specialized database service. Something that is unique to the data warehouse. So ADW is Autonomous Data Warehouse, and ATP is Autonomous Transactions Processing. ATP is focused on the OLTP workloads, or for your applications, anything with a lot of inserts. The data warehouse is optimized for reporting. So this is a service that is a big moment in time for Oracle. Oracle has always just delivered one database to support both workloads. Now we have in the cloud, because we own the cloud infrastructure, we can offer these two different specialized data types, and they're optimized completely different. ATP, for an example, our transaction processing, creates probably 80% less indexes and is probably 10 times as fast as currently what you're running. So it has less indexes. It runs faster. It has less maintenance because you're not maintaining all of these other excess indexes. From a data warehouse standpoint, it's columnar. It's a format that is better suited for read operations. So it's the actual database is columnar, which is instead of a row format. Again, these are incredibly boring for my wife. really hates when I come home and talk about Columnar, but Columnar is incredibly exciting for reporting because it's optimized for that type of workload. And it automatically creates data summaries. So you have the capability to let the system manage itself for you. We're going to jump a little bit ahead. I'm going to leave these from slides. Low code, like I mentioned at the top, is really the final frontier for a lot of our government customers. So if we can help customers get to low code, and 2.0, Cloud 2.0, like MilCloud, like the others, because it's built on a whole platform, will make low code an actual reality for a lot of people. And if you haven't tried, please go out. There's a service called Oracle Visual Builder. You can try it online. Apex, Oracle Apex is another low-code tool. You would be so surprised at how little code you actually generate, or how much you actually write. It generates a ton of code, but you actually don't write any code whatsoever. It's pretty amazing. So if you get to see that on the low-code side of the house, Visual Cloud Builder, Apex are two examples, but there are a ton of them out there for you to explore. You'd be shocked at how advanced that system is. So before I get into the example of what we helped with CDW, or CMS, is I wanted to say that all of this Cloud 2.0 information is great for you to now plug it in and make it more personal to you. We realize that not every application can go immediately to the cloud. And so what we wanted to do is say, here's where the industry is going. Here's where Cloud 2.0, here's some of the technologies. Now apply it to your situation. And I help customers look at it at a project or an application basis. Not every app can move to the cloud today. So what we would like to say is chart your own path to the cloud. Let us help you if you'd want. We try to say, you can keep and connect to MilCloud. You can keep and combine, so you can combine your existing applications with new services. You can move and improve. I eliminated lift and shift. I don't want to ever hear lift and shift. Move and improve. Lifting and shifting is just moving my headaches to somebody else. If I'm going to go through the effort, I might as well improve. So move and improve, and if you want, you can have the option Oracle offers Cloud at Customer. So we are figuring out ways to deliver, even in the most secure requirements for our customers. We're finding ways to deliver cloud. So for example, for CMS, just to give you an idea, CMS, Chris Martin was with me at FedForum. I don't know if any of you attended FedForum, but he was on my panel. He was an excellent speaker. He's in charge of the e-business suite for Medicaid and Medicare. And I'll go through some of the stats. They are working towards a cloud alignment strategy. So they took several steps over several years to get in alignment with where cloud is going. And I'll just walk you through some of these that they did. First, if you don't know CMS, CMS is the Medicare for about 100 million people. They manage with our Oracle e-business suite the payments. So it is built, EBS is our Oracle financial system. They process roughly 1.5 trillion payments per year, 5 million claims per day. So it's a small system. Not all jokes are. Yeah. What they wanted to do is migrate 98 terabytes of data. They had 35 terabytes of production, so they had dev and test and DR. They needed to reconcile all of these transactions, and they also needed to migrate online. They could not suffer an outage. So one of the things that they devised was they migrated their operating system, nothing against IBM, but they moved from AIX to Linux as one of their steps. Now, that's something that you can all do today, even on applications that maybe not be cloud ready right today. There's some applications that just can't move to the cloud today, but this is a great example of saying, well, I can get in alignment with the cloud operating systems, and I can get in alignment with the hardware that's going to be offered in the cloud for me. And so they moved to the Exadata platform. So those two things have helped them become ready to take advantage of any new services that are offered in Cloud 2.0. So the first was they moved off of AIX to Linux, and the second is they migrated to Oracle Exadata. They did focus on a couple of things. I love the story, if you want to hear what Chris Martin said. It can be done. So obviously you need to tackle this from multiple avenues, not just technology, but people, process, and systems. That was his methodology. They created a strategy group to deal with this, to deal with change, not just the technology portions of it, how to train people on the new things. But I wanted to give everyone here an idea of, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to jump to the cloud right away, but you need to chart your path, and you can start now. So you can start with something like CMS, or you can start with maybe, like I said with the previous slides, figuring out your own path. Keep and connect, keep and combined, move and improve, or you can actually deploy customer at cloud. So I have a couple of seconds. I'm down to seconds. Does anyone have any kind of questions for me?
Use the mic if you have a question, or ask Peter to repeat it.
If you don't have any questions, I just want to say thank you for your time. I always appreciate it. These slides will be made online. I think they'll be posted online after the conference, as well as there'll be a video of it. So please share it with you and put me on Instagram and say hashtag GoPeter. So, thank you, everyone.